Welcome back to the channel. My name is Wheaton McClanathan and I am a bagpipe instructor, and I'd like to be your bagpipe instructor, whether you live in Maine, California, IA, or whether you live right here in Arizona. We have the technologies available to us these days to do FaceTime, Skype, face-to-face group lessons. We do it all. In this video series, we are doing 4 parts. First one we did was basic 9 notes. This one today is part 2. It's going to be grace notes. It's going to be the things that you're going to need to play your first tune, which is most likely Scots Wha Hae. This will give you a boost in your sight reading, and it will make you a better bagpiper faster. All right, let's get started with the first embellishment you're going to learn when you learn the bagpipes, and that is grace notes. We are going to go over G, D, and E grace notes first. I do want to mention, I don't care how long this video is. I want you to memorize these things as you see them so that you can quickly play them. Quickly, play them, motion them, memorize them, speed read, all that stuff. So put in the time, put in the work, play your chanter. Let's do this. Grace notes. We'll go over them first and then we'll do like a little flashcard situation. All right, so anytime you see this screen, that means we're starting a new group. We go over to... We have a G grace note. Now, when you're doing a grace note, it doesn't really matter what is on either side of said grace note. We just want to look at the grace note itself. So in this case, it is a G. This happens to be going upwards, so it's a E to F with a G grace note. All right. And then we have a D grace note. This happens to be going down, but again, the D grace note is what matters here. And then we have an E grace note. Okay, now one of the things I want to talk about with the grace notes is that as far as like sight read, I'm a very visual person, so I can kind of visualize this, but if you ever see that kind of slope, like A-frame roof, and you see, with the notes on the sides, that's going to be a grace note. And I'll show you something that's the opposite, that's a V shape in just a second here. But this is, let's go back one. Let's go to, this is a G grace note. So you see how you got that A-frame, kind of visualize that A-frame shape. We got an E grace note here. And then now this right here, this makes a strike, like kind of a line through. Now, this is not a move that's possible in bagpiping. I just kind of wanted to point that out. This is not going to happen. I don't know if I needed that nope on there, but hey, I handmade all these for you guys because I love you, and I think that nope is funny. That made me laugh. But anyway, here we go. So you're not going to see a grace note in that shape. Grace notes are always going to be in that kind of A-frame shape, no matter what. Moving on to strikes. Strikes are going to look similar to grace notes, but grace notes go like this, and strikes are more like this. Let's get into some of the slides here. All right, that's the one I just played. That's an E strike. That is, you're playing E and then your ring finger taps down to A. All right, and then we have a C strike. So you're holding the C formation here and then you're tapping down with your 2 fingers down to low G. All right, now that's an F strike. There's different types of strikes. This doesn't cover every single possible strike, but what it does cover is all the strikes that you're gonna need to get your first handful of tunes all the way up to Scotland the Brave. We're gonna cover everything kind of in that fashion. There's some things like hornpipe shakes and there's other stuff that I'm gonna leave out, but this series is gonna get you all the way up to Scotland the Brave and probably even further than that. But anyway, this is an F strike. It goes like this. Now, remember the grace notes, they always had that kind of A-frame shape. Now, if it's a strike, it's going to have the opposite. It's going to kind of have that V shape. So I thought that was a little helpful little diagram. All right, let's move on to half doublings. Now, half doublings aren't going to appear in your first tune, Scots Wha Hae. They do appear later on as the songs keep coming at you. But I do want to point out what a half doubling is. It deserves its own explanation real quick. So we have a half double E as opposed to a double E. You're going to see double E much more common, but again, half double E and then a double E. Now if we move on, there's only 2 half doublings. We have a half double F versus a double F. Do you see there's a difference there? Half double F versus a double F. Now a half doubling means that the note leading up to said doubling is higher than what it can be. So because of that, you can't play the front part of that doubling. So a doubling is like a double E is, it's 1, 2. All right, now a double F is 1, 2 on the index finger. Now, if you're coming from a high A, you can't do that first ones on the double F. So we're gonna go high A. All right, and then same thing with E. If you're coming from a A or a G. So half double F, half double E. Just picture those two kind of ghost or shadow notes that I put on there. Either one of those, the high G or the high A, leading into that is going to make kind of force that doubling to be what we call a half. Now, those are the only two, so pretty simple. If you can memorize kind of those two shadow notes, they could be in either place. I just kind of flip-flopped them there. Either one calls for a half double F, half double E. That's what those are going to be. But again, they look and sound like this. The E is, so you only fire that finger once, that grace note finger once, and not, sorry, once and not twice. So and a double E is, and the F is, and the half is. So again, you're only firing that once. I think that explains it. Let's move on to D throws, also known as throw on D. I do want to mention that if you ever see this type of a D throw or this type of a D throw, think of it like the font is just different. It's just different font. It doesn't mean anything. So I happen to just visually like the kind of bolder top, so that's the kind I used, but both these two are D throws. I also want to mention that there are two ways of playing a D throw. Both are acceptable, but either way you play it, this is how it's going to look on the screen. All right, and I'm going to sneak in the double high G into this video because that you will need for your first tune, which again is Scots Wha Hae. So double high G is, all right. Now, double high G can come from different notes. So I put this shadow note in here to help you kind of visualize ignoring the note leading up to the double high G and just focusing on that little groupling, little group there. Groupling? I don't know if that's a word or not, but let's go. Groupling, I think it is. All right, let's move on. So yeah, so I just realized right now I put in two shadow notes there. So either one of those, and actually there's quite a bit more. I'm just kind of trying to put into your mind that the double high G can come from different notes. All right, let's get into the flashcards. I am going to give a crack at showing you guys the move and also clicking the keyboard. Here we go, flashcard style. Might speed it up toward the end. Remember, you can click on the gear on the bottom and you can change the speed of this video, make it faster, make it slower. Try to beat me there. Here we go. This is a D grace note. This is a half double E. This is a double high G. G grace note to F. This is an F strike. One finger. This is a C strike down to low G, so two fingers here. This is a half double F. Or from the G. This is an E strike. Ring finger only. This is a E grace note to D. This is a double high G. This is a D throw. G grace note up to F. This is a half double F. D grace note down to A. This is a double high G. C strike, 2 fingers. D throw again. Half double E. F strike. E grace note to D. E strike. This is a double high G. C strike, 2 fingers. E strike. Grace note up to F. G grace note specifically, sorry. Half double E. Double high G. D throw. E grace note to D. D grace note down to A. Half double F. Double high G. F strike. And that is video number 2 of this 4-parted series. Be sure to check back and watch the other ones where we'll cover other things like torluas, grips. Also, in my next series, I'm going to be going through this book called Rhythmic Fingerwork. You can buy this book at claymoreimports.com where you can get 10% off using code Wheaton. And by the time you're ready to do this book, you'll have it shipped and in front of you ready to go. Once the series is up, there'll be a gear on the bottom. You can speed it up, you can slow it down. The technology that we have available to us is pretty awesome. Also, comment below on what would you like to see me do next. I don't have a 3rd series lined up in mind. If I get enough comments letting me know what you guys would like to see next, I will do that for you. Until then, get back to work, play that chanter. We'll see you next time.